Yeah.
Pick up the phone and start dialing. Speak the words and I will make you richer. The most powerful CEO in the United States of America.
Hi, I'm Justin Chamness, real estate wholesaler and real estate wholesaler coach. Thank you for being here today. There's 1,000 other things you could be doing, but you chose to be here, and I am very grateful for your time. I will not keep you long. We should have called this a super quick webinar because it's only going to take us a few minutes. Now, what I want to share with you in these few minutes is very, very important. If you're trying to go to the next level, then stay tuned for the next few minutes because I'm going to show you the 3 things, and there's only 3 that you need to have in place in order to make that good, consistent money real estate wholesaling. When I talk about real estate wholesaling, I'm talking about finding those ugly houses, or in my case, I love to do pretty house wholesaling. So it doesn't matter what type of wholesaling you're in, maybe subject to wholesaling even. Stay tuned. These 3 principles apply here, and you must have these 3 and only these 3 in order to make money. I do believe there's no better time in history than right now to live your passion, share your gifts with the world, to live your best life, really. And I know that's so cliche. But for the last 100 years, in the industrial age, the human spirit, the voice, the passions, they've all been kind of suppressed. But right now, this is your opportunity to play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, and make more money. Just think about it. You have more power in the cell phone that sits in your pocket than anyone has ever had, really. Okay, the pharaohs in Egypt would have killed for that. Now, back in 20, 30 years ago, big corporations only had some of the ability to do the things that you have the power to do today, but not now. You have the power. You can do a lot of things today. What a great opportunity and a great time to live in. Even though it's a great time to be alive, most folks are still trading their time for dollars. They're prisoners of a system that they did not even create. They were employed to it at birth. They're chained to a desk as an adult, handed a phone. They say, here, now that they don't even hand you a phone, they give you something you can attach to your ear. And yet, folks still cannot create the lifestyle that they deserve and want. I want to solve this problem. At the end of this super fast webinar, I'm going to give you a coupon code. And you can use this coupon code to get all 3 of these things that I'm going to tell you about. And these are the 3 things you need in order to consistently make $10,000 a month in your real estate wholesaling business. Very simple. But I'm going to give you a coupon code where you can save money. And it's only going to be less than $50. I'll tell you, I'll just let it out right now. I'm not a salesy upsell kind of guy. Ask anybody that knows me. I started real estate wholesaling in 2001. I did a few deals, made a lot of mistakes, got real cocky, got caught up in my ego, and lost everything. I spent maybe 6 years searching, studying, trying to find the solution that would help me change my life to get back to some of the success that I thought I had. Turns out that was not the answer for me. I had a moment of breakthrough. I had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity. I realized I'm missing how to do real estate investing, how to do real estate wholesaling, how to do real estate. Do you hear I'm accentuating the do part? I'd had a lot of theory. I'd bought a lot of courses. I'd done a lot of studying and watching videos and staying up late at night and dreaming and talking about it. But the moment that changed my life was the moment when I discovered these 3 principles that allowed me to do deals and do them consistently, month in and month out. Today, I have a business that produces 65 deals a year. Now, maybe you don't think that's a lot, but that's a pretty damn good living. A lot more than 10K a month, but you can do 10K a month and pretty much live the lifestyle you want. Let me let you listen to a few people from the group talk. This is a recording. They didn't even know that I was recording. In fact, I wasn't even there for some part of this because the electricity went out. Somebody hit a telephone pole and I lost electricity. And so I dropped out, but they just kept talking. Let me play this for you.
But when I'm going through my Facebook and other things, we're constantly seeing ads for other gurus. It seems like there's 50,000 new gurus every single day, who have the best way to deal with the pandemic, the best way to do lease options, the best way to do subject twos, the best way to do this and that. And I'm finding it's really difficult to really stay focused on one thing. I mean, I know I'd have deals in the bag if I was just doing Justin's, lease option course. But there's so many other things pulling me in so many different directions. Short sales in Florida, subject to, and lease options, and all this kind of stuff. It's really difficult to stay focused. So I was just wondering if other people are having the same problem, just kind of staying on track with something that is working rather than going in multiple directions.
You know what? I experienced that a little bit myself. Between Joe Crump, Joe McCall, Ron LeGrand, and all of that. And what I finally decided is I was on Facebook, and the one gentleman that does the Middleton REI, he had made a post several months ago about Justin and just talked about how cool he was, down to earth he was. I said, I'm gonna listen. And I listened to him for a while, and I said, I'm sticking with this guy. He just seems like a regular guy that's doing the business, and he's not trying to sell me something every time I talk to him. He's not telling me about, oh, my friend this, my buddy that. I got tired of hearing it. And, so I said, I'm sticking with Justin. We're just gonna roll with that, and that's where it's gonna be.
I'll be the first to say I'm right there with you. I've done a handful of deals.
The best spot.
Right. I've done a handful of deals like in my, I guess, like year and a half or so at doing this. But I find myself doing the same thing. Oh, look at wholesale. Oh, look at lease options. Oh, look at subject to. Oh, look at wraparounds. But same thing that you just said. I mean, I found Justin's group, and he's like a solid, it cracks me up in some of the videos, and this seems like a real solid group of people that are ranging from beginners to experts that are all out here trying to help each other out. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm dedicating myself to doing, and then once you get better at this and you got, this down pat, you can move on to the next thing, or, outsource everything and then start looking into what you like. I'd like to do notes, but that's a lot to learn. So
yeah, but the other thing too, you got to think about this as a community, right? So there could be somebody here now that if you had a deal and wasn't quite sure what to do with it, then you could just ask, and maybe they can say, "Oh, well, you could do a subject to. I'll help you through it." Or whatever,
I know Ace does a lot of subject too.
Yeah, instead of somebody trying to tell you that you need a coach for $5,000 to help you get through a deal, I don't have time for that. I ain't doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, would you say it's best to focus on just one thing and get good at that, and then move on to the next thing?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. That's kind of what I'm committing myself to, because I got real bad ADD where I'm all over the place. Look at this, look at that, shiny object. But like he said, I mean, you can tell Justin, I mean, he's a regular dude, just kind of out there doing the thing, and it's obviously working for him, right? So, I mean, there's no reason why it can't work for us and why we can't help build each other up. You know what I mean?
So if I haven't made calls like I should have. I keep looking at my phone. I keep finding other reasons to not pick up the phone. So I gotta get out of my own head and get on this phone. So
I tell you what, I'm having the same exact problem. The other day I got on the phone with somebody and I even got a yes, but he was like a flipper, and like I was too kind of like, I guess, too scared to push forward with sending him like paperwork or anything like that. So because I kept saying, I don't know, in the back of my head, I guess I'm having issues with self-doubt and stuff. So I'm the same. I need to get better on the phone. So
you know what? And I think the other thing too is that I heard someone say this, is that imperfect action is better than doing nothing.
right.
So
True.
even if we're not great on the phone, we're only going to get better by being on the phone. So, you know, because even Justin said, you know, maybe 1 out of every 30 or 1 out of every 35 will get you a deal. So in reality, you're practicing with the other 29 or 30 something anyway. So,
Absolutely.
so I have to convince myself that that's the truth.
And that's
just
what
do
all
it.
the
So-
role playing here is for, Dion, is to help, you know, not be so nervous with those.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm there. So this morning call with you guys was to get me fired up to start making calls. After,
That's why I came on too.
After we get done.
You want to get fired up? I want to fire you up. I want you to get fired up. I want you to fire each other up.
Yeah, that's a typical, that's a common trait of a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm pretty much the same way. So I find it difficult to stay focused on one thing when the next shiny object comes along about every 5 minutes on Facebook. And, you know, they all seem good. They all seem like the best thing since sliced bread. But the bottom line is, if you're not really getting good at any one particular technique, you're just kind of a jack of no trade.
Yeah.
The big difference I see with Justin and the other gurus is we have access to Justin.
Right.
Well, and we
The
do
other
it daily.
They might do videos for you on a pretty regular basis, but we actually get to interact with the guru.
Right.
Right.
Big difference.
Well, and there's a daily lineup, pretty much like 5 or 6 days a week for us to all get online. It kind of works with everybody's schedule. If you're not free on Monday, you can hop in on Tuesday, you know, or Saturday. Most people are available on Saturday morning. You know, it's legit.
All right. Enough of that. Here's the 3 things you got to have. Number 1, you got to have a strategy or a technique. I don't care if that's real estate wholesaling as far as what we're talking about, a strategy or technique. It could be ugly house, where you're taking discounted properties and selling them off to cash buyers, either fix and flippers or landlords, or it could be a pretty house wholesale. Maybe it's a subject to wholesale or a lease option or a sandwich lease option. You need a strategy or a technique. You don't need to know all of them. You only need a couple. I suggest you have a pretty house wholesaling strategy. That's maybe lease options, assignments. And I suggest you have the ugly house technique, where you can sell to cash buyers, fix and flippers, and landlords when you find discounted properties. I would also recommend you have a third technique, and that is the ability to joint venture with other wholesalers that you meet that have property deals, whether they be pretty house or ugly house. But strategies and techniques, they are just what? A strategy or technique. That alone does not make money. If you know how to do a lease option, great. Go do one. It's tough when you don't know these 3 things. Number 1, a strategy or technique. Don't try to master them all. Just learn a pretty house strategy and an ugly house strategy. Learn how to joint venture, and you can make tons of money without much time involved. Honestly, I spend about 13 hours a week in my business. And I'm doing a lot more deals than 10,000 a month. Okay, so number 1, strategies or techniques. These are just tools. Put them in your toolbox so that you can be a professional problem solver. Number 2, the second thing you will need in order to make $10,000 a month, real estate wholesaling each and every month, leads. That's right, leads. Did you know you can get leads now for next to nothing digitally, where you don't have to spend much time doing anything? Yep. Members of the VIP club and folks that hang around our YouTube channel and one-on-one students of mine, they're all familiar with the automatedrei.com. I don't own it. I just use it. It's great. You can get enough leads to work your business for an entire month for less than $100. Say what? Yep, that's what I use. So leads, if you don't have leads, are you self-employed or are you unemployed? If you have leads, great. Get too many. That's a place to be. Too many leads. So number one, you have to have techniques, strategies, a couple tools in your toolkit. Number two, you need marketing, leads. I just gave you one solution for that. There's lots and lots of others. Don't get caught up on all the newfangled ideas and fads. Just get leads, consistent leads. Number three, you're going to have to learn how to give good phone. How do you talk to people on the phone and turn them from a lead into a deal? Same way you get to Carnegie Hall, really. Practice, practice, practice. Now, I'm going to give you an overview of what the VIP Club offers. First of all, it offers you the ability to ask your questions in a Zoom setting, small group. Not 4, not 5, not one, but 6 times a week. I don't know any other coach that offers that. Here's the schedule. Now, I'm going to throw in a couple bonuses here. One, the course, it's a full training course with the advanced agreements package. It's called Outsourced Lease Options 2.0. Everything you need to do outsourced lease options. That's a technique. Put it in your tool bag. That's a tool. Learning that is a tool. Now, we talk about how to get leads in these meetings, and we show you in the course how to get leads this week for less than $50. Now, we also are throwing in an additional course called Mastering the Phone to Get Property Deals 2.0. This is not a script. Oh, it has some scripts in it. You'll find some scripts in it. You'll find some scripts in the Outsourced Lease Options course. You'll find scripts everywhere. But this is not a script. This is how to call a homeowner, talk to them, find their motivation level, and turn it into an offer that they say yes to. So I told you I wouldn't keep you here very long. I am trying to stay true to my word. So I want you to click the button below and enroll in the VIP. These are folks that are just like you and me, and you'll fit in here. You need a community and you need some consistency and some accountability. And that's exactly what this is. If you don't like it, I will cancel at any time for you. No questions asked. Month to month, $49 a month. You'll have the theory, the tools, the courses. You can put the tools in your toolkit. You'll be educated and taught how to get leads and get them consistently. And you'll be taught how to talk to the homeowner and get them to do the deal with you. Of course, we also teach you how to work with tenant buyers and with cash buyers. Because every course, every club, every guru, they all leave out one. We don't do that here. So I look forward to meeting you, to seeing you on the inside of the VIP club. Remember, it does pay to be VIP, and you got to get that shut up money. Shut up money.
What?
I got my shut up money.
I heard you the first time. I just wanted to hear it again.
No more questions.